All right, y'all know I'm here for it. So your girl Joy Reid decided that she wanted to go on Piers Morgan's show, y'all, and thought it was going to be like a friendly chat and all of the above where she can discuss her new career, you know what I'm saying, Trump and her thoughts on immigration and all of the above. Well, let me tell y'all, Morgan did an ambush, y'all, and I am here for it. Okay, and now Joy Reid is pissed off and trying to come out and talk and say that he was a troll and all the above, crying and all the above to an interview that she simply agreed to take. I am here to show y'all because I enjoy things like this. You miserable bimbo. She need a slot on The View if you ask me. She'll be perfect there with the rest of them miserable bimbos on that show. Anywho, y'all, I'm talking about Morgan gave it to her ass, talking about the sinking of her own little show she got because she was let go due to all her BS. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't support Trump nor his administration or anything that he, has going on. She's always been a hater towards MAGA and everybody. So you get what you deserve, and we the people are loving it, and I enjoy it. So with that being said, y'all, let's go ahead and get into the first clip of today, coming straight from Colin Rugg on X if y'all want to follow him. New Joy Reid has a meltdown after Piers Morgan plays the video of her crying after getting fired from MSNBC. All right, let's dive into the video, y'all. Let's go.
Fascist that you can compare it to.
Okay, let's move on to, I want to just play a clip of when you lost your job at MSNBC. Let's watch this.
My show had value, and that that what I was doing had value. And in the end, I try not to cry on TV. And whether it's talking about any of these issues, and yes, whether it's talking about Gaza and the fact that we as the American people have a right to object, to little babies being bombed. And I am not sorry that I stood up for those things, because those things are of God. And I'm a church girl too, and those are the things that I was taught were of God. And so I'm not sorry. I'm just proud of my show.
Now, look, you're perfectly entitled to be proud of your show. Many people enjoyed your show for many years. A lot of people at NBC were briefing that the reason was declining ratings post the election, a 47% decrease in your election, in ratings from pre-election. But you told Mark Lamont Hill on his show this.
After I said on my show that the reason Americans could relate to Ukrainians in a way that they didn't relate to Palestinians, that Ukrainians are white. And so watching white people get their schools bombed was, hit different. That hit our ratings. I mean, it definitely, we could see the loss of white viewers from that moment that I said that. So they were like, we don't like the name calling. And also I'm a Black woman. So, I'm sure it makes him angrier, when I say things. Maybe because I am a global South person myself, as a Black person,
Here we go. Always trying to make it about race. If they don't have anything in common, y'all, it's always about race. It's always about the white person, always about the Black person, always about this person, always about that person. Instead of just pointing the finger to themselves. You see how she tries to cover this up, her fire and claim it was race suggesting. No, ma'am. You suck. Okay? The ratings were dropping down. What the hell are we going to be able to do with you? We ain't making no money off of you and your miserable ass. Shut up. Let's get into it.
You have a different empathy toward other global South people when they are suffering. And so we're going to come at that story from a different angle and in a different way and with different kinds of empathies. And I think that's not always received very well in the news business.
Now, Joy, look, let's be honest. I don't think you were fired after all those years because of your skin color or because you're a Black woman. I think you were fired because your show just got increasingly unpopular. It happens all the time in TV. That's why you got let go. Why play the race card?
First of all, I love the fact that your play the race card is your version of the race card. You literally are so fixated on trying to racialize conversations with me, Piers, that I find it actually quite charming.
You racialize more
It's almost
conversations
no,
in your
excuse me, I'm having
tenure
a
at
conversation with Mark Lamont Hill
MSNBC
that you're
than any
clipping bits
host
of.
in
All right,
history.
all right, Mark.
Come
All right, Piers.
on.
And the bottom line is you take an entire conversation that I had with Mark Lamont Hill and pick the bits that you can racialize because this is your shtick. And I get that this is your shtick.
You racialize everything, Joy. Come on.
I get it. I understand this is your shtick, Piers. And listen, game recognize the game. I get this is
It's
your
not
game.
my shtick.
And the bottom line,
It was your
it
shtick.
is your shtick, and everyone knows
your
that it
shtick.
is. Piers, we
And people
understand
got bored
what
with
it is.
it.
And it is so interesting to me that you yourself, as a white European, find that when people of color talk about race, that you believe is racializing conversations. But when people like you fixate on, well, Barack Obama was a black president, why don't you object to that? That is racializing a conversation about the former president of the United States.
Just laugh.
But you can't put your, and I'm sure you find that charming and funny.
I find it
You
hilarious
cannot
because
see
you're the
your
one.
own-
You're
Well,
the one
you
who
and
said
your
you're
friend
the one who said Donald Trump.
You and your friend Donald
You
Trump.
said Donald
you and
Trump
your
is a
friend
white
Donald Trump
fascist.
Are so he is a well. I agree
And
with
yet
Mark
when Obama
Milley,
did the
who
same
is,
thing,
last time I checked, is
I'm not allowed
black.
to mention his skin
I agree
color.
with his former chief of staff, who last I checked was not black and said he's fascist. And Mark Milley said he's fascist to the core. So
Okay.
I happen to agree, and I know this is what it's important to you, with two very white gentlemen about Donald Trump's fascist tendencies.
Okay.
If that makes you
shut
sad and
up.
uncomfortable, I can't help you.
No,
Piers.
it doesn't
There's
make me
nothing
sad
I
and
can do about
uncomfortable.
it.
I think it makes you a little bit of a hypocrite, but that's different.
Boom. Ooh, y'all, let's get into it, baby. Next, I'm talking about Morgan was getting in her ass. Coming straight from Spitfire, y'all, Dog Right Girl on X, if y'all like to follow her. Let's keep this thing going.
How many people Barack Obama deported in 8 years?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Well, why don't you guess?
I don't know and don't care.
Well,
you
hang
tell
on,
me.
hang on. You don't know and you don't care.
Right.
You've just
I
given
don't,
me
because it's not the
you've just
issue.
given. Hang on,
You're
hang
trying
on,
to
hang
make
on.
the issue the
Hang
southern
on,
border.
Joy. You've just given me Joy.
Donald, no,
Joy.
no. The point is,
Joy.
Barack
You've just given me
Obama
Joy.
was not dragging
Joy.
women
Joy.
and,
Let me finish.
and
You've just
nursing
Joy.
babies apart
Joy.
and
Joy.
taking.
You've just
I
given
don't
me.
know.
You've just
I'm sure going to
Joy.
tell me it's your main issue.
You've just given me
But
a
it's
late.
not my main
Joy.
issue.
You've
My
just
main
Joy.
issue is that what
Joy.
we're seeing.
She was asked a question and she said, I don't know, I don't care. Do you know how many people Obama deported? I don't know and I don't care. This is the same lingo line that they use every freaking time, y'all. Like, come on. He deported over 3 million people. See how easy that was? They kill me.
I'm trying to finish my sentence. You've
Please.
just given me a lengthy monologue attacking Donald Trump's aggressive deportation policy. And I've simply said to you, there was a Democrat, a black Democrat president of the United States for 8 years. I'm simply asking, given that you're obviously all over every detail of the Trump deportation policy, and given you were on the airwaves in America on a daily basis through Obama's tenure, how many people did he deport in 8 years?
I do not know. You'll tell me. I'm sure.
Have a
I'm certain.
guess.
But it's probably more than 1 million.
And then he also got the name titled, y'all, deporter of chief in immigrant right groups or whatnot. How you not know this? And you representing Rock with it, man. But you clearly can open your mouth and say things about Trump and the things that he's doing. Man, girl, shut up. You sound stupid. I'm enjoying every bit of this. I don't know about y'all. Let's get into it.
People, I'm quite certain.
Have a
because I
guess.
think each 2 million.
It was 3 million.
Okay. And
Are
your
you-
point being what?
My point
What's the
being,
point?
are
You
you as
didn't-
shocked by that as you are claiming to be by Trump?
It is not deportations
Many of them were
themselves that are
brown.
shocking. Wait a minute. Can I answer
in
your
fact,
question?
the majority
Hold on.
were brown.
Y'all, and this is why her show is booty meat now. This is why it's booty meat now. Just stop. Just quit. Quit. All right, let's get into this next clip. Coming straight from Colin Rugg, y'all. Piers Morgan accused Joy Reid of being homophobic to her face on his show. Let's dive into it.
Back Mountain.
No.
Okay. I mean,
And what is the point of that?
well, because you said I don't want to watch the two male characters in Brokeback Mountain having sex.
Oof, and I seen that.
Okay,
too.
so what does me watching Brokeback Mountain have to do with that book, whether or not it is
No,
pornographic?
nothing to do with the book.
That book,
Nothing to do
that
with
is
the
a
book.
book that people can have the opportunity to read if they so choose.
No, I'm not talking
I do
about
not
the book.
understand how an organization
I'm not talking about the
can
book.
make a decision. It is not about the movie. It is about whether or not Moms for Liberty
I'm not talking about the book.
the organization who should make
Joy,
decisions for other
I'm not
people's
talking
children.
about the book, as
Whether
you
I've
know.
watched a movie or not makes absolutely no difference.
I'm
If you've
talking
seen the
about
movie,
you posting on your blog that you wouldn't watch Brokeback Mountain because you don't want to see two male characters having sex. Does that make me homophobic? Probably. Most straight people cringe at the sight of two men kissing. Your words, not mine, Joy.
and your point is?
That maybe that makes you a bit of a hypocrite when you're taking the position of being an ally for the LGBTQ community. And actually, the best way to handle it, I would argue, is just to say, you know what? Actually, I did write that at the time. They're not my views now. I've learned, I've evolved, I've moved on. Trying to pretend even now that you didn't write it is preposterous. And I think you know
The
that.
bottom line is what I've said, and I will say it again, is that I take full responsibility for everything that was on that site. I'm deeply apologetic for the things that were on that site that hurt people, and I take responsibility for it because it was my site. And that's the end of that. And my views, as you know, and as I've said on television, on air, are quite different from the views that you.
The anchors, man, this is what kills me because they so love to moralize like their own past and don't survive scrutiny. Like, own up to your shit like she said she did. And if you did watch that movie, guys, I can't unsee it now or whatever. This is the same lady that says these books that have the same thing in it, you know what I'm saying? Like, are okay for our children. If y'all watch that movie, then you already know what I'm talking about. And it's not okay. But these are the type of people who stand for these very things. They value these very things. Let's finish this up, y'all.
You just read, and that's the end of that.
Okay.
Okay, and that was the end of that. All right, y'all. So, you know, of course, he got into that tail. Morgan got into that tail. She was not liking it. Of course, she's now about to play victim, y'all. She has to respond and go back and say how she feels. This, that, and the other. She feeling some type of way because he got in that ass and humiliated her ass once again on live TV. I enjoyed every bit of it, okay? Because this is exactly what she gets. This is exactly what her tail gets and the rest of them. Y'all failures. Y'all suck. Y'all have nothing to fight for. Y'all don't even know at this point what y'all fighting for. Y'all so out of touch with America. Y'all hate the country and the people in it so much, but yet y'all are still here, still trying to profit, all of the above. And at the end of the day, you're going to continue to go down in history as losers. Okay? Y'all going down in history as losers. And Jim Carrey's voice. Okay? With that being said, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this just as much as I did, baby, because I loved every bit of it for all these miserable people that don't have no life, that continue to keep losing at every turning point that they get. I want to know y'all thoughts in the comment section. We're going to get into this last video, and I'm going to see y'all in the next one. All right, let's dive into it, y'all. Coming straight from Mike Singleton on X, a rather thirsty little troll. Joy Reid rips Piers Morgan, accusing of ambushing her with race baiting interview. They always got to throw the race card in here. I'm so sick of these folks. Let's get it.
Reid show. So I got a little question for you. Have you ever thought about, and would you like to know, and let me actually start just by reminding myself.
Oh, God, shut up and get to the point.
Just how thirsty Piers Morgan is. And you will be forgiven for not knowing who Piers Morgan is. He won the Celebrity Apprentice with Donald Trump way back in 2008 and was considered a journalist working at a time for a British tabloid called the Daily Mirror when the paper was implicated in a scandal for hacking the phones of famous people, though he himself denied involvement. And he has hosted various other canceled news shows on.
Why you ain't had this big mouth when you was on his show? Why you didn't say this face to face with him? Why you wait to get on your show and then get to talking? Let's get into it.
CNN and ITV and other places, including podcasts such as the one that he hosts now. But mainly, as again, someone who considered himself a member of the media, he has become, in this current iteration of his career, a rather thirsty little troll.
desperate, it seems, for attention, and not just from Princess Meghan. As part of our press rollout for this show, our PR team booked me on the Piers Morgan podcast. Now, why did I go along with such an idea? Well, sometimes you do want to actually
You
talk
need the
to
money.
people on the right and see if they've got anything
So,
interesting
okay.
to say. And of late, you know, some people on the right have had interesting things to say. And of course, I do love a debate. Some on the right, in the recent several weeks, including Piers, have been making a weird amount of sense about Israel and the genocide in Gaza and about Trump's weirdness over releasing the Epstein files,
Oh,
or
shut
whatever
up.
you call what the DOJ has on the late
shut
pedophile
up.
who was Trump's bestie for 15 years. So
Shut
I figured,
up.
okay, wouldn't be my first choice, but why not? Especially as folks begin to realize the reality of this nightmare that we all find ourselves in. And here on the screen, I want to put up the email that Piers' team sent to my PR agency to get me to come on the show. And I'm going to quote. So it would be a free-flowing conversation covering several topics in Joy's wheelhouse, including the Trump administration, Elon Musk establishing a new political party, ICE raids, and news of the day. We'd also like to discuss her leaving MSNBC and setting up her new online venture. Okay. Sounds compelling.
Girl, you fell for the bait. Shut up. Ain't nobody interested in you and want to have anything. He did that on purpose to get your dumb ass on there so he could take your dumb ass out like they always do. Shut up. You're irrelevant. Nobody cares what you have to say. Boo hoo 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 hoo. Go cry a river with the rest of them them wits, them retards. We don't care. You're irrelevant.
Compelling. But it turns out that is not what the interview was about. Instead, Piers used a 45-minute interview to ambush me mainly about his favorite subject, race. Specifically, why Black people like me talk so much about race, especially when it comes to Donald Trump, which is ironic, right? Because in bringing up the fact of race and Donald Trump, that is, in fact, Piers literally talking about race. Specifically, Piers demanded to know why I don't call the Black president a fascist for deporting more brown people than Trump has, and why I brought up being Black at MSNBC in an interview with Mark Lamont Hill, and various other topics, most of them weirdly connected to me being Black. Because, of course, that is Piers' shtick, right? Just like it's Donald Trump's and Fox's, and just about every other right-wing content